he had a whole scene with his father, the father of his order, um, about whether what he was doing was right or not. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
think there may have been some other stuff too.
Brother
Uh,
Asher, right?
mhm.
Uh,
The temple priest.
Temple
yeah, that
priest,
was a
yeah.
cool discussion because he was representing kind of like the town and the village, and you have your responsibilities and duties, and also your position, I guess, because your farm has been um, like you managing your farm has been of lots of value to the community. But then at the end of the day, you gave him a pretty nice speech about courage and um, what it means for you to be Peller. I really liked how you stood up for yourself. It was really cool. Uh, and then the cool thing was Chris wrote a letter, which I love that we
Oh, that's
we
right.
did
Yeah.
we did write a letter there, which it's like a rarely used skill, but it could be clutch, because it was a successful missive. All right,
Who,
so that's cool.
who was the letter to?
Chris?
It's to the Duke who had hosted me when I was, I had left
Um,
the kingdom. So I'm just trying to keep. I talk about how we're doing this, and I sent the axe, and then we're going after the axe. So it's trying to, not give up. That I can get back into the good books of all the people that I disappointed.
well, let's read his description here. I got his name, relationship. Duke Valreath or Valoreth. He's a duke, which is pretty powerful in the country of Bissell, which is kind of the gateway to the east. Okay, so there's a lot of xenophobic Knights of the Watch uh, at the gates, basically, because the Bisselites follow a totally foreign deity that they don't know. Anyway, so this guy fostered you and he does not have children. Cool. I like that. You know what I thought, Chris? It would have been a good idea to fork in if you had persuasion to fork it in because
I
or
don't know because remember we didn't have it last time when we did the Battle of
oh,
Wits,
to
right?
do the wits, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah. So I was. That's why we were rolling as rookies, right?
Yep. All right. So um shall we just go over beliefs, instincts, and traits? Stephen, do you wanna?
Is my beliefs, which belief one, hero when needs my assistance, I will help them make sure that they feel the light of Kellar. Um, I don't think that she needs that much help right now, but still, everybody needs the light of Pelor. Father Asher will be showing the light of Pelor and hope. I will give him the courage to be in charge of the temple that needs to interact with the world. That's just kind of a continuation of the last one. As a character, I think I may have been a little bit too harsh on him, not having courage in the last conversation. And then the Lyra Venshade is my connection to the physical world. I will protect her and her hives. Instincts, praise power, be kind, keep my sword with me as a last resort.
Yeah. I kind of want one thing I was just wondering is your second belief
Mm-hmm.
says, I'll get their support and blessing for retrieving the axe. You kind of met that's what I see in roll 20. Is that is
Yes, I just started rewriting that now.
okay, so you're gonna update that?
Yes.
You want to discuss?
Um, that I want to remind him, or that I want to make sure that he knows that there is still value in being there protecting the flock, because I think the interpretation that he could have taken away from when I left is that there wasn't value in that, but I want to make
Mhm.
sure that he knows that he is still valued for that.
Okay. Okay, that's cool.
Um, yeah.
Praise Pelor, be kind. I love Praise Pelor. I keep my sword. Okay, cool. And traits, ideologue, lyrical, down to earth, clannish, mark of privilege, tonsured, and vested.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. James, you want to go next?
Sure. First belief is the axe may be a powerful tool to use against the giants. I will see it in the hands of a hero who can wield it against them. And the thought there is that if Kyle's character wants to take it back to the Dwarven halls or whatever, or if someone unworthy tries to claim it, I will oppose that. Second is I will summon Alric again and bind him and compel him to lead us to the axe. And the third one is grief leaves cracks where the spirits speak. I will use the sorrow in this land to strengthen my voice among the dead. And that is aimed towards increasing my affiliation with the circles. Instincts are always listen to the omens, always accept a spirit's word as the truth, and always step between the living and the dead when they come into conflict. My traits are a little bit crazy, batshit disturbed, and dreamer, gifted, touch of ages, and driven.
For summoning,
Yes.
which is so cool. I love your take on necromancy. It's so, it's beautiful.
I like all the different burning wheel magic systems, so this is one
Yeah,
I've been eager to try out for years.
amazing.
The wheel, like, is like, again, have the wheel of time and all those.
Mhm.
Is there anything, is like the wheel like real concept? Like, is it like fate or is it like,
Uh, yeah, I don't know.
You mean like the burning wheel?
no, yeah, that's the question. Yeah, it's like, because he's talking about getting closer to the wheel. Is that a,
Like
like
yeah, James, in your faith, what do you, what's the symbology there? That's
I
cool.
honestly haven't thought about it that much in terms of faith, but I'm not sure that she has either.
okay.
She believes in an afterlife, obviously, but that's to her it's more of a practical thing and focused on being respectful of their ancestors and those that have passed on and helping them find a resolution and less about any kind of organized faith.
It feels
She
so
honestly,
Shinto. It feels very Shinto.
it is very kind of ancestor worship.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's great.
She doesn't have much patience for organized religion, and I think that partially is because of Stephen's belief about forcing organized religion on her. So,
Mhm.
Well played,
I've
sir.
I have like a flavor thing. If you want to flow with me a bit,
hmm
maybe when you do the cercination,
hmm
there's sacred stone element, like a sacred stone that you carry with you that is like the center, right? Like, like
sure,
because I was going with the Irish and like that feel, like
okay,
Celtic feel for
hmm
the Flan people, and it would be kind of and I see Shinto is so nature oriented, and I just got
hmm
when I went to Japan, they love their stones, so
oh yeah, okay, I like
yeah,
that.
cool, awesome.
Okay,
Yeah, when I went to Ireland many years ago, me and Chris have a very close friend there, and just seeing those dolmens everywhere, it's
hmm
breathtaking. Okay, Kyle, let's hear from Torolfsson.
Right. What should we be doing? Searching the ruins of Dun-Castrath. What are we doing? Not that. I will find evidence at Fenvalor that this nobleman indeed sought out Dun-Castrath in his quest for the axe. My Morden's beard, but something queer is happening to me, and I must know what. No civilized folk will be of use as those hate-worthy Sul did this. I'll have to beat answers out of something foul that serves those giants. Let these lowland fools call me stubborn, so long as they still have the living breath to do it. I'll stand with these folks against any foe, monstrous or otherwise, with sense and steel, no matter what it costs me. I swore to Uncle Villic that I would do everything in my power to recover the Axe of the Dwarvish Lords that he is convinced will be found amongst Geoff's ruins. Always take a closer look. Always laugh at a joke, especially puns. Never trust sorcery. You may hear my son in the background. Well, my wife's not home yet. But traits: bearded, determined, humility, adventure, accustomed to the dark, greed, oath sworn, shaped from earth and stone, second sight, stout, tough. He's a dwarf, so he's got a lot.
Pretty heavy, dude. Pretty heavy. Anybody want to comment on those crazy beliefs?
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, a question, like, do people change instincts? Is that a common thing?
Yeah, because if they're not serving you,
Okay.
if you're like, I fucked up, I wrote something that makes no sense, just change it because it is a very mechanical, gamey type of aspect.
Yep.
So just change it.
Yeah, because I saw that again. Yeah, you guys seem to be pretty decent at like traits and the instincts driving to the next session. Yeah.
And that's what they should do. They should give Sanj some ideas of, what positions, like the instinct should tell him what positions to put us in so that we can screw ourselves over with the instincts or get benefits from them.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you
Get
can
Arthur
check,
for screwing yourself over. So
you can check the YouTube channel because I did a video yesterday of session prep for this session where I go through everybody's character, beliefs, instincts, and traits, and I write underneath the little scenes or things that I would come up with to squeeze those. Chris, let's hear from the freaking mighty Lucon.
Yeah, so I changed up some of the beliefs. So my belief one, I will help secure the axe and use it to free my lands and make my family and father proud. Those exiled from the Knights of Foltest, I will return to my homeland with accomplishments worthy of the Fenvalor name. Second here. Number two, I believe that my act of mercy, though condemned by the Knights, was just. The order preaches the light. That one I didn't really change that much. And then the third one is my mother and family are in danger. My half-brother is not known to me, and I fear he is bold and rash. I fear I may be too late to save my mother and will do anything to rush to her side. She is dear to me, even though she was cold as a mother.
Yeah, okay. I have thoughts on how to tighten it up for a belief, okay?
Yeah.
I will help secure the axe and use it to free my lands and make my father proud. That's the core belief.
Yeah.
Okay. Write something like a goal or an action or something that you're going to do where you're going to roll dice that will get you to Fenvalor to as fast and safely as possible, to satisfy that belief. Or wait, no, because you have
I'll do it in the third one though.
One after, yeah.
So I'll do that. Yeah. That will convince.
Or to get the axe, like what are you going to do?
Okay. Yeah, I'll write. Yeah. So I'll write. So it's something more concrete to be like, what would I do?
Yeah, because these are far off in the distance a bit,
That's what I'm saying. You guys seem to be a lot better at making it more about the next session. Yeah. And I didn't change the instance. Yeah.
Yeah. There are some beliefs that are sometimes referred to as fate minds, where it's more of like a moral stance or a code or something that you will pursue over and over again, but it's never something you're going to achieve.
Got it.
And you'll just keep getting fate for that. But something like this where you have a goal, yeah, you want it to be achievable so you can get that persona.
Yeah. So that you're saying it's pretty dumb if you want fate points to make something all your beliefs so far away that they're not gonna. Otherwise, it changes the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, like you could say let's say you strategically Lucarn thinks, you know what? I'm gonna go to the training yard and tap on some circle up some squires and knights or whatever or soldiers whatever types to help come with us as like more muscle, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna try to write something up.
okay, cool. Well, and I believe that my act of mercy, see that one, which is your act of mercy and learning how to, like, balancing between mercy and
How about this? I would say, like, again, going back to belief number 2, I will extol to any of the knights who will listen of my innocence. That way, it's like, if some knight questions my family, I'm going to put myself in this situation where I'm going to fight for my innocence. That way, it doesn't, it's
could
not
even
like,
be,
it's just,
you
That's
could even be
great.
more specific and say, I will find a knight who will listen to my innocence.
yeah, okay, I will find a knight. Okay, yeah.
Because then you've got a very concrete goal of, when it's been hit.
Got it. Okay. And then in this way, I believe my mother and family are in danger. I will get to the castle within the week.
Yeah.
So I will do anything to get into, I will do anything.
Yeah, like let's say realistically, you guys know it's gonna take like you're gonna try and shave, 2 or 3 days. Like
Yeah, but you said it's more like a week. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say yeah. Okay. And then okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna find a knight who will listen to my innocence, and I will do anything to get to the castle within a week. And then
Oh
for the
yeah,
first
yeah.
one.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay. Now we have
Thanks.
some.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
I just came in on the end, but do you want to is there value instead of saying in a week, say as fast as possible? And the reason why I make the distinction is because in a week could be completely failed and you wouldn't get any persona for it. But if it's as fast as possible, we could still completely like not get there within a week and get there slowly. But if it's still as fast as possible and we're sacrificing all this crap for it, you still get a persona.
Yeah,
right?
like if you get captured by orcs.
Yeah. Or
Okay,
like we
yeah.
take this dangerous shortcut and get captured by orcs, and then it takes us a month. Like that's still as fast as possible, so you still get a belief, and the belief caused all this drama. Whereas if it's like this set timepiece, then
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
Nice. Jace.
All right. So I kind of switched up my first one a little bit. I've got my father's ghost whispers of the long axe of Lu. I must head to Castle Fenvalor to search out information of my father's last expedition in search of the axe, regardless of Lady Marius's safety. Number 2, I put, I'll stand up. I kept the same. I'll stand up for Lucarn's honor and see his rank restored. Maybe then he'll see me as not as a stranger, but as his brother. My last one, I haven't changed either. A name doesn't make a leader, deeds do. I'll take the risks. No one else will improve. I don't need a name. And then I've still got the same instincts. I feel like I need to take them for a spin to figure out if I like them or not. But always check for an escape route before taking action. Always scout ahead in unfamiliar territory. Hide first, think later. And then all the same traits as well. Loner, paranoid, clannish, lyrical, down to earth. My die traits are bastard, mark of privilege, and fearless.
Nice.
It's interesting that you have the fearless trait, but you have an instinct about hiding first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't
Maybe I should
necessarily
change
mean.
that then.
Well, yeah. I wondered about that instinct a lot, and I kind of wanted to know where that's coming from.
I mean, he's got a Strider life path though, so he's basically a ranger.
He's
really
a
good at
ranger,
So yeah, so I think
Yeah,
there's value in it. Could be more like hide first because that's tactically sound.
Like when I'm like scouting ahead and stuff. I think.
Not I run from danger, but
yeah. I think
this is how I approach
wording.
danger.
Yeah,
maybe the wording could be a little bit more precise there.
Attack from the shadows.
I think the wording is okay. It's just the interpretation. Like he could be fearless, but it's still stupid to fight 2 trolls.
Yeah,
true.
Exactly. We know what it is.
I think that's probably.
And you definitely don't approach trolls head on.
No, definitely not.
Oh, you know what though? I gotta say something about this one that also the word think later also doesn't. It makes me, because you have an instinct about an escape route, right? So the person who's got an instinct about always finding an escape route, like steps into the thing and the mind's already going, right? Like you're a step ahead. So that's kind of what I feel. Is like you have an escape route planned, fucking thugs run through the door, right? And then you're going to hide to the escape route.
True. Yeah.
So this instinct is supporting the other instinct mechanically. And then you're gonna, creep up and attack them in the shadows with whatever, your bow or your it's cool. But yeah, I mean, both of those instincts can be triggered like together, right?
Yeah, I guess potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Well, let's see how they go, because you want let's see how they play out.
Yeah, they didn't really play out last session, so I'm not really gonna change
Well, it
them,
was
just...
a talkie
But no, yeah, I'm
action.
not complaining. But I'm just saying.
So again, now going back to the beliefs, there you could use some like action move. You could write something about what, like, I must head to Castle Fenvalor to search. Actually, that's pretty. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, maybe if there's anything special you want to do to stand up, like the stand up for Lucarn's honor, that is a bit reactionary. Like you're waiting for somebody to.
I see.
But that's cool.
But it
A
could be a
name
little
doesn't
bit more
make a leader,
proactive.
deeds do. I'll take the risks no one else will, and prove I don't need a name. This one is really cool. It's like this is a fate mind kind of belief, I think, right?
Yeah, that was the kind of thought.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, folks, shall we get started? Let me just minimize a few things here. I'm gonna play some music today.
Hell yeah.
Now, is this on
It's on
through
Roll20.
Zoom or on
It's on
Roll20?
Roll20.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, I see. On the jukebox. I've never actually used that on Roll20.
It's pretty good, actually. How's the sound level? Too loud?
Good for me right now.
It's fine
That's
for
fine.
me.
Right.
So, anyone want to do anything to satisfy their beliefs? I figured it's like nighttime, or it's the day of your one day before preparations, and you're gonna head out tomorrow or something like that. Anybody want to do anything interesting? There could be like a little montage scene of you guys like, well, this is what I thought, right? It becomes like you guys are leaving and you don't know how long you're going to be gone for. It could be a big ass thing, right? So you have to get supplies, you have to have like rations, you have to get rope, you have to spend money. And to spend money and go on an expedition to Fenvalor on a 5-day journey requires shelter, and I mean there's no inn between here and there that is safe to stay in these crazy times. So you'll probably have to camp in the bush. So what that means in Burning Wheel parlance, it's like a test. And I kind of wanted to use a test called a resource maintenance test, which basically it's like that test is used to live the life at your level, okay? Kind of like pay for your standard of living. And you know, maybe I could make it more difficult because you are going on an expedition and you're leaving the shelter of this place. I could make it more difficult. However, it's hard as it is, right? And but you know, I've done a lot of reading and stuff, and it is fun to like that's being poor drives you to adventure, right? Like to take those risks.
And a question for the
Yeah.
group, it's like how many people have left this town and actually done a journey like this?
I could imagine Kellen for sure.
Yeah. I'm used to going
And
alone though.
Big.
Torvig for sure. He's an
Mhm.
adventurer. Era, maybe to collect herbs for a few days, I guess. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
She does that quite frequently.
yeah. I mean,
I mean, I assume Steven's character has been off at some point for, paladin type
yeah,
stuff.
Okay.
being heroic.
Yeah.
Getting that
But-
B5 sword.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
literally a master with a B5. You're not a master,
being a
but
knight
you
errant.
are extremely
capable.
competent with the B5
Mhm.
sword.
Yeah, presumably he wasn't doing that fighting drunks in the bar. So.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
So,
definitely have something I want to do.
okay.
I want to circle up a dwarf that owes me money.
Nice. I love it.
And so looking at circles, like, I mean, obviously it's within the same setting. I'm thinking some kind of artisan similar to me, and similar station. Disposition, I think, is the big one, right? Specific disposition is what it sounds like. He owes me money. That seems very specific.
Yeah. And because you're an adventurer, I think you have a trait that makes you at a disadvantage for circling up dwarves, correct?
Yes, something
Yes.
like that. I don't think it's all dwarves. I think it's a specific kind of dwarf.
Oh, nobles, maybe.
Yeah, when dealing with artificers or noble-born dwarves. And actually I am looking for someone from my life paths, and I'm an artificer, so that actually would impact.
Oh,
So
so cool.
this is like an OB5 test.
This
So
can't
let's
go
call
badly.
it, let's just like, let's call it, let's just lean into our tropes and it's the dwarven blacksmith.
Sure.
Who's
Yeah.
who's generally from another hold or whatever, but he's here and he's worked like he's in the armory. There's a war going on. He's repairing armor. He's repairing. Hi.
Say hi, Anna. This is my
Hello.
daughter. She is just got back from swimming, so um so my circles, where are my circles at?
Your circles are usually.
Oh, I found it. I see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't know that I have any affiliations that would apply because unless this guy's from my same clan, which I guess he could be, but that seems kind of seems probably unusual. So I don't know that I really have anything that can add to this. So I'm just gonna roll.
Really?
I'm
Well, what?
definitely
Wait. What's the obstacle? Ob1 base, um, a broad occupation within your, same life path. So still Ob1.
yeah,
Station the
yeah.
same.
Same station.
Yeah, just a specific disposition or detailed rare knowledge. No.
Oh, well, see, I interpreted him as owing me money as specific disposition.
Disposition, all different, man. Well, yeah.
If
I think that whether he owes you money, yeah, that is kind of specific. Okay, sure. Ob 3.
I mean,
Okay,
I'm happy to take a lesser ob, but
I'm
Ob
gonna start
4.
circling up everybody that owes me money.
Ob 4. Ob 4.
and then because
You-
of my trait, it would be ob 5 at minimum. And that's if you don't want to add in a time and place
Hmm.
restriction.
I love it. I love it. I know what the failure consequence is.
Oh, sure, sure. Okay. So, and again, I don't think I have anything to add in. Really, my affiliations that apply don't have any reputation. I'm not going to spend persona on this, and I don't
So
think I can leverage greed or in any way on a circles test.
I thought
I
greed
don't
was
want to.
allowed on any test.
Well,
And
he,
this
it is. He does owe me money.
He does owe
is
you
like
money.
gold one of your greed triggers?
Oh, what did I put for my greed triggers?
And you're doing this to get the Axe of Dwarvish Lords, which
Yeah,
is also one of
yeah.
your greed triggers.
I lust for riches, craftsmanship, and power.
So
I
this
mean, I'm a
hits all of
dwarf.
them.
Yes, that's a fair point. So
Okay, so to exponent to an ability test, it doesn't matter for so doing so allows the player to add any amount of dice from his greed exponent to an ability test. So that could be circles. I've seen it happen before.
now, okay, now here's a question for advancement. Tests for advancement of greed are earned. Now, if I add 4 greed, if I spend a persona to add the 4 dice to my circles, does that increase my circles dice pool for the purposes of advancement?
Yeah, so tests for advancement of greed are earned when the player spends a persona point to fuel fire. When steel to note that I think like the obstacle is the same ob as the circles test. So it's an ob 5 circles test. So it'd be an ob 5 greed test. And whatever
Yeah,
your
I was
4D of greed versus that is
well,
difficult.
yeah. So I'd get to add my 4. If I spend a persona, I'd add 4 greed dice to my B2 circles, which is still not great odds.
6 against 5, 6 dice against 5.
Well, I will say this:
open-ended.
It is open-ended. That's very true. But well, this does hit one of my beliefs. You know what? I'm just going to stop hemming and hawing. I'm going to spend it because it's fun and dramatic to do that.
And that's how Burning Wheel is supposed to be played.
So I'm going to spend a persona and roll my circles, which. So I guess this is as 4 advantage dice on the roll 20. Is that correct? Is that how I would?
Wait.
Yeah, I believe that's how you'd code that in.
Just add in 4 advantage dice because that's essentially what it is, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, there's a different way. Okay, I think I see. So there's a specific input for Artha dice, persona or deeds.
Okay.
So
This is the music that bangs in Torvig's brain when the fires of greed are on him.
yeah, very appropriate. Okay, so 3 successes, 5 obstacles, but there are. I don't think it. So because greed is open ended, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you
So
should
those
have
It's an
sixes.
emotional attribute.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. You could just wait. What did you roll?
Well, I rolled my circles because I spent a
Yeah.
persona to add my greed exponent to the circles test.
Those 6s should explode.
Yeah. So just
Because it's open-ended.
3d6 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys, you got 3 successes versus ob 5. Okay. And they're all 6s,
Okay.
which is so cool. Oh, nice.
Okay.
You got
Okay, so
5
I got
You
one
successes.
did it
more.
right there.
No, you made it.
Yeah.
Well,
And
but
you
I
made
need
re-roll that
more. I
last
want
6.
more because I want to name this guy.
Oh yeah, so re-roll it. Yeah. Nice.
Ugh, the music is too loud.
Okay, so my total is 7 successes.
Nice.
Wow, crushed it.
And if you win at a circles test, if you succeed at a circles test, you get to name
We need to zoom back out.
the dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna name him Gunnar. We'll just leave it at Gunnar for now. in an AR.
Ah, Thorvig. It's been a long time. You look worse for the wear.
Gunnar, you owe me money. I'm here for it. I do not have time for the slapping of hands or the drinking of ales. I'm on business. Secret business.
I paid you back. You know that.
You did not pay me back. There was no paying of the backs.
You and your silly puns there, Thorvig. Always.
I'm not the man who would pick a pun, would pick a pocket, or perchance to. Yeah, you have very good business here, and now I need the money.
Show me. We wrote it down on a tablet. Prove it to me. Like Okay, I owe you money. You know, I'm just
so Torvig pulls out his chronicle and like he's going through the pages.
Right
here, I wrote down on the 4th of the month and the midsummer, I did give Gunnar money so he could be going and doing the flirting with the human barmaid.
Okay, how much are we talking?
Oh, I think he just owes me like 1D cash on hand.
1D cash.
Yeah, I feel like anything else would be way beyond the bounds of.
Yeah.
Like I would have had to. I guess I probably should have specified, but that's in my head. I was just.
You would have bankrupted yourself if you did that, right? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did he borrow the money from you?
I flippantly said to impress a woman, but it could have been anything, or maybe he didn't tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you're
that's
just
for me to
assuming
figure
that he was
out for
doing a
later.
flirt with the barmaid.
So Gunnar the blacksmith.
But I can start.
I just give you a 1D? Like there's no test.
Well, there was a test.
Yeah,
so
there was a test.
I agreed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Gunnar the blacksmith.
I got to start potentially tracking him as a relationship now. So I could, could open that. Is that
so? You get plus 1D to your pool of dice.
Yeah, plus 1D cash on hand, so I could theoretically make a resources test if I had to now.
Yeah. So going back to the resource test, as people in your households areas start to notice that you're preparing for going on a journey, are we? Says somebody says like your neighbor, Kellen. Going on a journey, are we? Oh, looks like you're going out far. It's very dangerous out there.
Well, we're a tight crew that's leaving. I think we'll be okay. Won't be gone for too long. We'll see.
So I kind of like picture, the lifestyle of living in this kind of bustling city with all these new people to be one where you owe a bar tab at an inn. Someone owes you money. So just like what Torvig's situation of saying, this blacksmith owes me $1. So the local innkeep where you hang out and you have a little tally comes running up to you and he's like, "Come on now, don't be leaving without you're paying your dues." And not just him. Before you leave, your whole smuggling operation, your whole thing, you're like, your second in command or whatever comes up and he's like, you can't leave now. The spring is happening. We're gonna have that's the perfect time to go. And you're like, just here's some money and I gotta do something, right? Like,
yeah, like I can't deal with all you guys right now. Like, look, something's come up and it can't wait. Is pretty much my explanation.
So all of that kind of financial pressure leads to you having to make a roll to see how you wind up after it. So you're gonna roll. I'm sure I'm not doing a good job of like explaining or abstracting this?
So I am somewhat, this is like somewhat, I've been watching the Knights Torchbearer game, so a lot
Yeah.
of this is kind of similar.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not like totally lost. I kind of understand what's like, we're making a resource test for like my lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah, I have 1D of cash on me from the character creation, so I guess
Right.
I do have that going
But
for me. But I
your obstacle is 2 as an
yeah.
adventurer.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's pretty tough to make that test.
Yeah, obviously I have 0 resources.
So you kind of like, you guys like, say maybe like,
Do we need to like scrounge up some money or something before
yeah,
we
kind of that's what
start?
Torvig did. Like, so I'm gonna circle up somebody who owes me money. Um, you know, you could do something similar.
Yeah.
Um, but you saw that the test value was so high, and Kyle had to tap into Torvig's greed to make it, gave him 4 extra dice. So it's not an easy. Even then, it was a tough. Like, he had to get all 6s to.
Yeah. And I don't know
Was
To
if
be
I
fair,
have
But
something
you
like
guys
that.
can help each other too. Like,
and to be fair, that
True.
role was to find a dwarf that specifically owed him money here
right?
in the place
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where he
yeah.
didn't exist before.
yeah, yeah.
Gunnar.
Could there be like, I mean, maybe instead of like trying to summon someone who's, who owes me money, could I do maybe like someone needs an odd job done or something like that, that I could like try to earn some coin off of?
Yeah, totally. Mm,
You're
what
not
what
sure
do
what
you got
that
for skills that would
What about a sponsor?
a
or
sponsor? Ooh, that
or
could be
or or,
interesting.
or guard duty? That's very classic. Like there is a food truck heading out to Fenvalor.
Yeah, there could be other people that want to go.
How would finding a sponsor work? That would be interesting. I feel like me and Luke Karn maybe would have. I mean, obviously, me being a bastard would be a negative in that scenario, but I mean, that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah, I
Or
love
pull up
that
a
idea.
Um,
nobleman here in Hotchuk and
Yeah,
then convince him.
yeah,
yeah, that's a great idea.
and I think Luke,
I'm
like,
I'm going to I'm going to go find like people that would be in the watch or would be like in town that I know are like from our like from our area and trying to convince them to come and save the castle. That's what I'm going to try to do. So maybe you can join. Do you have persuasion or anything like that?
I do. Yeah, I mean, do we
Yeah,
want
I think
to?
it's kind
Because
of, yeah, like,
we can fork that in, right?
yeah, Chris, you kind of give the helping die to Chase, because
Yep.
and well, I guess it's a circles test, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
circling up a wealthy benefactor that would see, just like feels
Yeah, I
for
want to
the
like get a
cause.
meeting with him. I want to like, I do have a reputation in Hotchalk, so I don't know if that would help me out here.
Amazing,
Um,
amazing.
so maybe I could just find like some sort of, court whatever, like his secretary guy, like, hey, give me a meeting with this guy. I just need to get into a room with him, so we can try to convince him,
Totally. I kind
that
of
he should
pictured,
sponsor
like,
us.
I don't know if there's a picture in the Discord that I put of what Hot Choc looks like, and it's it's nestled around a U-shaped river on its southern end, and that's
Yeah.
like the dock area, right?
Hmm.
It's the drawing in the Discord that Michael Smalley did, the so it's like a 3D or a 3D kind of drawing.
Isometric.
Isometric, yeah, sorry. Dirt maps. Where is it? Yeah, there, that's it. No, it's not isometric, but kind of.
Kind of, a little
Right.
bit, not
Yeah, so
totally, but
number one, where that castle thing is, what is that?
hmm.
That
Hot
is
Chalk Keep.
Hotchok Keep. Around that district, I think a lot of You know what? There is a tension. There is actually interesting. There's a tension in the city. There's the old Hotchok mayor and like the Juffites who ran this, but their whole authority has been kind of overshadowed by the neighboring Grand Marchers that are part of the Knights of the Watch. And because the Grand Marchers have become, and their commandant has sort of declared himself the de facto ruler of the place, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of neat. Maybe you go after you go on the sympathies of the Geoff people of Geoff, and you find like the former mayor or
Yeah,
something.
I definitely think that's something my character would do. I don't
Cool.
think he would go for the kind of outside influence.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Love it. All right. So your Kellen, your circles is B2.
Mm-hmm.
And
Then I'm getting 1 die from my reputation in hotshot, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, so you have 3D. But what is the ob?
I don't know.
You could also you're circling up a human, and there's 3 other humans in the group that could potentially help you.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Steven's from here.
Yeah, I don't think my circles will help much.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not yours.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that all of you guys, yeah, we need funds. We need money.
I mean, yeah, I definitely could see Lucarn being very pivotal in this. Like, I'm not just a bastard coming in. I'm like, I've got the true-born son over here, you know,
Yeah.
and me, who I might not be on the up and up with the nobles, but the people of Hotchok, they know me.
Well, it's interesting actually. So, I mean, we can totally metagame it and be like, okay, who's got the higher circles here?
Mhm.
Gathering up your reputations and your affiliations and all that, and just be very smart because the test is high, right? And that in game life is a conversation. Yeah, but I know blah blah blah, the principal of the school.
Yeah.
Um, Chris, you're on mute, bud. Why is it always going?
It says so the mark of privilege is the trait that gives you
With nobles, yes.
with nobles.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so it's a 1. And is this guy he's related to would he be related to our family? Like, is he like distantly? No.
No, but he's a countryman. You like a countryman, like the
Yeah.
former mayor, or if you want to go lower, just a lower rank, like the former, uh,
Well, I'm trying to find anybody that would be in a good, like, a position of power or former that is associated, like, came from our lands or is like from that. Is there anyone in the
yeah,
town
like
that we know?
there's a lot of lords. There's a lot of lords.
Yeah.
Lords that have escaped from their holds and are now living, sort of discontentedly under the the Knights of the Watch, and
And would there be any
they're
one of those that, like, cousin marrying,
you will
uh,
we can see it with the roll. Like
Yeah.
let's move like
Yeah,
with
you
the
don't
roll.
have to define this before the
Yeah,
circles test.
yeah.
got it.
Just
Okay.
just a general idea of sort of person you're looking for. Like, I'm looking for a sponsor,
Yeah.
and
So Chris,
then
what's your circles too, right?
Where do I look for my circles?
It's
Attributes. Stats and skills, then
Yeah.
attributes.
scroll down a little bit and it's kind of like in the middle.
I have a question here.
Attributes, right
So
underneath attributes.
I have Mark of Privilege, right, which gives me the 1D affiliation with nobility.
Yeah.
But I also have Bastard, which gives me 1D infamous reputation among nobility. How do those two interact? Do they cancel out, or?
No.
I think that they're cumulative.
Oh, interesting.
Correct.
Yeah, because you're more notorious for it,
Yeah.
Well, so the
everybody knows the bastard of
Wow.
Fenvalor. He's
Yeah.
the hero that's been fucking bringing smugglers back home, right? You
Yeah.
got a reputation too. So you got 5 dice there.
well, you can't use the 1D infamous to circle up a noble because you're
Mhm.
infamous with nobility. You can
Mhm.
use
Right.
it to circle up people for which that would be a bonus. You
Yeah.
do apply it to the noble test, but it's +1 ob, if I remember correctly.
I
Oh,
believe
good,
that's
good,
correct.
good. See,
So
smart.
they are used at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really good to have 2 GMs at the table here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
So-
no, I mean honestly. Honestly. So take one or the other. But we said we're going for a noble, like somebody a
Mhm.
benefactor. So
Market privilege feels like it applies then.
yeah, market privilege.
Sure.
I'll deign to talk to you, even though you are a bastard. And so that's B2 circles, mark of privilege, and your reputation. So you have 4 dice to start off with.
Pretty good.
And then you can get helping dice from like Chris.
Yeah.
I have B2. I have a B2. I have 2. My circles are B2.
Okay, so you get a helping dice, so you get 5 dice there. And guys, helpers also record the test, which is cool. And Steven,
Mhm.
are you helping? You're muted, buddy.
You're muted, buddy.
Be happy to help, and I also have the affiliation with an ability, and then I also have an affiliation with Pelor religious followers and the Pelor Temple, and something that might be a little bit different that would help too is I also have a reputation as a just priest of Pelor, so I could see that being useful as vouching for you being an honest dealer.
Cool.
So I have a cool idea. I'm gonna make it the okay. Well, yeah. So you get +1D with that. So you got now six dice. And we're gonna check out the ob.
How much money are you asking for?
I don't know. How much should we ask for? So you
So
said I have
there's kinda
6 dice?
So there's kind of 2 ways I could see you doing it. You could just ask for what's known as cash on hand, right?
Yeah.
Which is it's a die value of cash, essentially.
If cash,
if it
like
was-
that we can use towards a resource
Yeah.
test.
Now, mechanically, once you use that, it's gone. Like if you add a die of cash on hand to a resources test, it's gone. If you ask for a fund, the fund could be like 1D, 2D, or I think they got to be at least 2D, but I don't recall, or 3D. The difference between a fund and cash on hand is a fund only depletes if you fail the resource roll and are taxed. Now, funds are obviously much higher value, so that might be. I feel like a fund would. This is completely up for Sanj to interpret. Like I would say maybe you could get cash on hand from a simple circles test, but for a fund, that's probably going to require.
Fund is building up a
More.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, fund is a lot. Like it's super valuable.
Okay. I'm looking up. I'm looking up in. I read one of those old blogs of somebody's Greyhawk game around the liberation of Geoff, and there's a lady named Lady Blackblade who was an adventurer and friend of Duke Owen, who recently returned to town, you know. And there's another dude named Willington. Well, oh yeah, Chancellor Gallimar Withington. Maybe these aren't very Gaelic names, so we'll just make up our own. Okay, so let's get the ob.
So how many? So how much am I adding to this roll here? So I know I'm getting 2 die from myself from my
2 dice circles.
reputation. If yeah, and then
2
is help a
helping
separate?
dice.
Is help a separate somewhere in here?
It's kind of like when you click the window
Yeah, it like goes through them, so I'm like worried I'm about to like roll before I've submitted everything.
Yeah, so let me
Spot
just see.
for advantage dice. I think that's where you'd probably add it.
I think
Okay.
that is. I think
Okay.
that's right.
Advantages. I can see. Okay. Cool. And then when if I spend luck on something, that's after the roll or is that before the roll?
It's after.
Perfect. Okay.
All right, guys. So we don't have to like you don't what most applies in this situation, you don't have to take all the obstacles and just what applies most in terms of obstacles of the base circles test of ob 1. What really applies is that she's of higher rank, right? So that's a +2 ob, so we're now at ob 3.
Okay.
And we want someone who's like a disposition amenable to you, right? Somebody who will fund your venture, so that is like you're gonna go for the person with like that likes you, that has the adventurous spirit, that has kind of nodded to you and said, "You're doing a good job here with the refugees," blah blah blah, right? And and maybe a Pellerite, like a devout worshiper of this, or someone who comes and sings at the church as well, right? Um, and knows the Duke, your father. Okay, so I think ob 4 is how I would tally all of that.
Okay. So could someone kind of explain to me very briefly when I know when I spend Artha, it gets put into whatever I rolled it on, right? Because there's these little boxes for that. What does that do?
If you accumulate, if you
Is
see
that
yourself pumping, yeah, the epiphany.
Epiphany?
the epiphany? That's what that is? Okay.
Yeah, that's the Holy Grail.
I see.
It's a
It's
very
hard,
large
but
number, so
Yeah.
but
it's a lot.
yeah.
It also can serve as a nice reminder of what has been important to you when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to things like trait votes and things like that, and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
assigning reputations and all.
Very
Exactly.
much so.
And there's two places to be tracking these things. On when you're spending them, you put them like you are where the thing is, and then when
Mm-hmm.
you're earning them in the trait vote at the end of the game, you'll be like, oh man, I've played this belief so hard. I've earned like 9 persona points or whatever, or 9 fate points. So kind of that also tells us what's important to you because you've been playing that scene a
Yeah.
lot. All right, so op 4 versus your dice.
Okay. Well,
And
I'll spend a persona point to add 1 die to this.
So I was slightly wrong on the infamous reputation. You do get a 1D bonus from it, but you also get the +1 op when it's appropriate. You get the
Okay.
advantage dice from the reputation and suffer the obstacle penalty at the same time.
it's kind of cool because
Yeah.
mechanically it sucks for you, but it's interesting to bring it into the story.
I love it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
But
here
it,
for it.
it still
I
makes
mean, if
that
you're going
pool
to play
larger.
Jon Snow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and
I'm
you know, if
getting
you
I'm
roll a
getting an
6 on
extra.
that 1 die.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
larger pool means there's more opportunities for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
but the ops is 5 now.
Yeah. So the ob goes up, but I get an additional die here. That's
Mhm.
okay. Cool. I'll spend a persona here to add an extra die here, and so the base ob is 5. You said.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oof.
Oh man.
Wow! I rolled one
Geoff?
6.
Yeah.
1 1 1. That's so terrible. Well, I butchered it somehow. I don't really think spending luck here would help me. I'd have to roll so many 6s in a row.
Yeah. It's rough.
So you the three of you head out to uh, let's come up with some to Lady Fionavar's um uh like it's a townhouse but it's a nicely appointed townhouse outside of the court area. Okay. Lady Fiona Var's townhouse. Okay. I'm writing it down. And the whole the there's no guards posted at the door or anything like that, right? So you knock kind of respectfully, and this is a lady, and you're greeted at the door by a teenage girl wearing a bonnet and a light blue gown, and she says, "Hello, may I help you?" And she's kind of startled by like the 1,000-yard stare, man, just like grimly. But she bobs and looks at Brother Glenn because she's seen him around church. Um, and I don't know why, but I always picture your character super like handsome, you know? So she blushes a little, like, because I don't know why, but I just because of your dad's thing, and I picture your Kellen to be a like smuggler
Oh
and
yeah, yeah.
smooth and right. So I picture him to be like,
Very like Han
and
Solo
then
a
she
little
makes
bit,
the
like.
the lady gush, right? And you say, well, anyway, so you want to role play, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm like, good evening. We've come to speak with the lady of the house. Do you think you could be so kind as to show us the way? She's expecting us, surely.
And then like just like as you're saying that, somebody from behind opens the door, and he's like a tall, slim, like it's like a man at arms with his hair in a in a ponytail. He's like, the Lady Fiona Var is he looks at you up and down with that kind of,
Yeah.
assessing, right? And smiles politely to Brother Glenn, ignores uh, Lucarn, and says, Lady Fiona Var is not feeling well. She has caught a cold. Um, come to her. Come back another day. She's not seeing any guests.
Ah, but it's urgent, my man. Surely you can understand urgency. We'll be
Mm,
quick. We won't trouble her at all. Isn't that
So
right, boys? And I kind of like elbow each of them.
so he looks at you up and down, and just quickly because it's fast for me. Uh, and he. Okay, why don't you persuade to try and come in? Okay.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could go wrong.
What could go wrong? Exactly.
He's
All
got a
right.
B4 will.
Does anybody want to help me here? I've got my two human buddies here.
So, Sanj, are you invoking enmity clause here?
Yeah, kind of.
What is this?
Yeah, if you fail a circles test, um, like you could just not get what you want, or the person that you meet has something against you or something like that. Like, and it's called the
Okay.
enmity clause.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
haven't
best.
really read up on it that much, but
I absolutely love it. It's one of my absolute favorite mechanics.
yeah. When a player searches for a contact via his circles but fails the roll, the GM has the option to call on the enmity clause. Rather than finding someone who is favorably disposed to the character, the player finds he has an enemy out there. Someone who feels insulted, mocked, intimidated, cheated, or scorned by the character. All
Cool. I love
right.
that.
Yeah. So it could be,
This could
you
be
know,
bad.
depending on how it wants to be interpreted, it could be that it's Lady. I'm sorry. Would you Fiona Var?
Fiona Var, yeah.
Yeah. Or in this case, it could be her doorman or whoever this gentleman is. Right. Like
Mm-hmm.
this He's some
I
kind of
call them.
man at arms, yeah. So
Valet.
mhm. Yeah,
So
valet was pretty important, right? Back in the day,
yeah,
or
he's
valet.
important. He's like the look like chief of staff of a small house, but yeah. And so try and push in if you want.
Yeah, so who's helping me here? I get some help.
Etiquette.
Etiquette.
I have a B3 suasion that I could use.
Cool. Steven, what's that thing like the key? Is that a key just like across? It's like a sword stabbing your forehead.
Right in front of the camera. No.
It's
I
towards
think
the
it's
camera.
It's
I think
something
it's
on the
very
camera.
close to the camera.
There we go. Yeah.
There we
yeah.
go.
Okay, that was a box lid.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, I have suasion at B3 to say I understand that she may not be feeling well, but I promise you that this is of the utmost importance and we will be very quick.
Cool. So is this how this works? I can fork in another skill that I have to add another die to this roll, right?
Yeah, that's how you flavor your persuasion.
Okay.
And then Sanj, I have etiquette, so I just go and I just say, if noblemen call on the house in time of need, you must be seen.
Okay. We'll see.
All right. So I have etiquette as well, so I can fork in etiquette and get another die, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So I've got
Well, what do you like? And then
Six.
when you say it, like when you do the role play, incorporate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So what's my obstacle? You said 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Keelan, he's kind of like, am I right, boys? And he's like, please, and he kind of like straightens his doublet a little bit, and he's like, puts on his manners, and he's just like, this is of utmost urgency to the safety of Hachok, and the realm at large. It would behoove your lady to hear us out. It would only be good for her, basically. Okay. I have
But
one.
you.
6.
I have 1/6 here,
Mm-hmm.
so I can spend luck to re-roll that, right?
Fate. Yeah.
Fate for that, right? So okay, I'm gonna do that.
Nice.
What is it? /R? Is it /roll or /R? 1d6.
You can do
Roll
One
20.
works.
Other one. Ah, not
Right.
today.
So, that was an OB4 test. So, Chris, you can mark it difficult or challenging, I think. I don't know if your etiquette is 2 or 3.
3.
Okay, so I think that is, what is that, a challenging, guys?
If Chris is 3 and the ob's 4, then yeah, it's challenging.
It's a challenging, so you can mark a challenging etiquette test.
Nice.
And your total dice pool, Chase, before you spent the fate was 4. What's your persuasion?
My persuasion is 3.
And then you had 2 helping dice. So 5 dice against 4 is.
Oh, so that's difficult.
That's a difficult.
So
yeah.
it doesn't count. What was I saying? Never mind.
Well, was your dice pool 6 dice? Because
My dice pool was
rolled
6 dice though,
Oh, okay.
because of my
So it's a-
fork. Does the fork count
Yeah,
into that?
fork is counted. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so then that was just a routine test for me then.
Routine.
Because
Right.
I had
Yeah,
6
but
die.
you need them.
and-
You need them, right?
Yeah, no, I mean that's my first one, so
Yeah, you need that.
hell yeah, I need it.
Mm-hmm. And you spent a fate point on it.
Mhm.
And Stephen, I'm assuming you know if you got a routine, difficult, or challenging.
I am having to look that up. I do not remember what the rules are for helping.
Well,
What's your etiquette? Or
or
what's
suasion,
your
suasion.
Suasion.
Suasion is B3.
Challenging.
So
thank you.
you just take the full test value, ob4, and your skill versus that. So challenging. It's the best way to get challenging and difficult is to help.
Yep.
That's coming back to
So,
me. Thanks.
but he kind of appraises you all, and he says, Kellen, you've piqued my interest. Do come in. I'll hear what you have to say, and I'll relay the message to Lady Fiona Var. And he leads you into a nice little waiting room, foyer kind of area with the fire and 4 chairs and a table. And he instructs the girl to bring some mulled wine and some biscuits and says, so tell me, what is this endeavor of utmost importance? You have my interest piqued. And he smiles.
I think Kellen's probably like, oh, I would much prefer to just give this to Lady Fiona's ears. But I think Kellen knows that he's probably not going to be seeing her at this point.
Yeah. So your option now is to lie or tell him the truth. Etiquette would deem that you can't just like barge out of here.
Sure, yeah. Well, I do have B3 falsehood, so I guess this is a time where I would try to like silver tongue my way out of this.
Yeah. And I think he's pressuring, like he we'll do an oppose test, right? So
Okay, cool.
so there's a little something, like it's not crushingly difficult.
Mhm.
At least I'll roll. Okay, so you kind of say no, I can't, and I I say no, you can totally trust me. I've been by Lady Fiona of our side for for many years, and I trust. And this guy, he's like mid-30s.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, Let me look up his skills. Uh, I mean, I'd say like, he has etiquette. So he's got a B4 persuasion, etiquette, um uh like wait a second, hold on. I'll look it up. Um, Noble setting, noble court. Courtier. Etiquette. So persuasion, etiquette, noble wise, um, lady wise. So he's got three forks. Okay, his persuasion is B4 plus 3 forks. So I have 7D. Okay. I'm gonna roll D6. How do I get more? I guess how do I get, oh, you know what? I'm gonna do /R, oops, R 7D6. Oh, I got only 2
Oh, 2
successes.
successes. This could be winnable.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So I think Kellen will probably start spinning, like instead of like, you know, easing up on the lies, he digs deeper and he's like, "Oh yeah, this thing is super it's related to the war. We're running like a secret front under, like that wants to be sponsored by her, like, we're getting ready for spring and stuff like that. I'm not mentioning the axe at all." Um
You could bring in some of the tensions between the two different, the Joffite rulers
mhm.
she's a part of versus the new Knights of the Watch.
That would be good. Yeah.
You know, and that could get a helping die from Chris because it's like I fucking hate those guys.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think Cullen will probably try to play that angle and be like, it's for the benefit of, for the old rulers, not the new
Yeah,
people on the scene.
cool, cool. Chris, are you gonna help or Steven?
Yeah.
With this one, I think I'm actually pulling back a bit because I like he's lying and I'm just watching him kind of go back and I'm just leaning back a bit, kind of, this is not.
Nice.
I think there's a moment where like Kellen kind of is like, "Isn't that right, Lucar?" And he kind of like looks back, and you're just kind of like, and then Kellen
Yeah.
turns over to the priest of Pelor to see if he will also.
And I'm going to start going on. I'm going to tell the truth. It's about hope.
Nice. I love how it had a very Star Warsy vibe there where Han Solo is like lying and Luke Skywalker's freaking out. I love it. Okay. Roll them
So,
dice,
can I
Chase.
fork in etiquette here?
Definitely.
Cool. All right. We're coming in.
Ooh, tie. Okay. Tie, do you have any traits that would break a tie?
Oh, I guess
A
I
call on trait? Do you have a call on trait?
would Mark have privilege helped me here? Or
No,
and bastard? No. Okay.
no. But call on traits?
No, I don't have any call on traits actually.
Hmm. Okay. What's a good result for a tie, James? Guys, like, how do we look at this? I kind of want, like, he knows you're lying. You
Mm-hmm.
know he is sort of
Just
going
kind of blowing
to
up smoke on my
hail
ass,
you. No, I think like he's too eager to
Uh-huh.
know what this is, and you see that he is very like he's going to s- he gives a look. There's like their local like stableman,
Mm-hmm.
groomsman who looks out for their horses, but he's like looks like a dude, like a warrior. And he steps in a little bit a minute, and he, in the middle of your conversation, he kind of like comes like passes through the door, and they share a look, and he kind of gives the guy a nod, and you get the sense like, oh, is this guy gonna like follow us?
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that you're lying about what it is, and you're super curious of each other. So you kind of leave in a very tense
Yeah, I feel like that's the
situation.
moment where it's like, all right, everybody, let's leave. Oh,
Yeah.
it's getting so late already.
Actually, maybe the groomsman kind of waits for you
Mm-hmm.
guys to leave, and he's, not really intimidating, but
Mm-hmm.
he's there. And it's a look like, okay, meeting's over, gotta go.
Yeah, time to leave.
Yeah. Neat. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Amazing. Very cool
Didn't
flavor
find a
to the story.
sponsor, but got myself in a little situation here. So how would that work in terms of advancement for opposed checks? Is that a thing that is affect
Yeah, it's a versus ob 2. So your full dice pool
hmm
versus obstacle 2. So I guess another routine
Okay.
for falsehood.
Cool. We're getting some marks though.
And same for Steven. Your hope, so I think doctrine or something, versus ob 2. So whatever that test would be is what you record for advancement. Can I take a pee break if you don't mind?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
sounds
can
good.
use one
What
too.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop the recording,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna, because I want to make sure.
It's yeah.
Yeah, 1 second here.
Guys, how you having fun? This is really good
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was pretty cool.
It's like
Mhm.
strong role playing. I really like it. And it's very inspiring. I'm enjoying it. Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. I'll be right back.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, what happened?
We so he failed his well, they tied the falsehood versus persuasion. Okay.
Mhm.
And what ended up how I ruled that was that both parties leave knowing okay, this valet knows that that Kellen was lying, okay, and Kellen learns that this guy might be like wants might have like an ulterior motive, and you know, you guys might have to watch your backs.
I mean,
Yeah, he was a little too interested.
Yeah, he was a little too interested.
I sensed that before I left.
That
That guy's
Yeah.
definitely slimy.
yeah, yeah.
I say that we knife him in an alley or axe him. Axe him a question.
Kellen's like, it might come to that.
Well, hey,
That'll be his call though.
so I see. So he rolled a persuade to try to convince you to tell him, and you rolled a falsehood. Is that?
So I rolled persuasion to get him to like let us meet with her. I think is my understanding, but I failed. So instead, I kind of met with him, and he was trying to
Right.
ask me questions about what we were going to be up to. And then so I
Yeah.
tried to lie
Yeah.
and not tell him anything.
But was the 76 that Songs rolled?
It
That
was
no,
opposed.
that's my that's me persuading you guys to divulge more information.
Yeah. So was it opposed falsehood versus persuade?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty good falsehood test. That's what at least difficult, right?
Mm, because the ob is only 2, not my full dice, right? Because I only got 2
Yeah.
successes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he rolled 5 dice.
Yeah, so it was a routine. But he's now got a routine falsehood and a routine persuasion, which is you got to get
Yeah,
4,
I
I
mean,
think,
I
right?
need him, right?
Yeah. Sometimes the falsehood routines are the hardest ones to get for falsehood.
That's actually my second routine falsehood because I had the one
did
where I was
great.
like
Oh.
trying to hype up how much we love dwarves in Fenvalor.
Mhm.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because if you're usually testing like B3, B4 will is pretty average. So, yeah, it can be kind of hard at when you're opening. You got a lower falsehood to get a.
Get
Mhm.
a routine. That's I think that's one of the reasons why I chose to do an opposed test because like he it was a stretch for me to say he wanted something out of it, the thing, but then I came up on the idea that he did want something out of it, you know? Like he wanted to snoop on your thing.
Yeah,
Um,
three
so
like these guys show up late at night, obviously looking for something. Yeah, that's total snooping
Yeah,
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 territory.
we're pretty sus.
yeah. Um, so we haven't even done the resource test. So that'll
It's
be
true.
fun.
Yeah, this was all an endeavor to get some money for the resource test.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna, I mean, we're gonna see where everybody else wants to see if they can, get some helping dice. Um, and it's funny that a whole session could just be that. But but it's really good flavor. I love seeing like the village come to life with NPCs, Um,
Yeah,
love that.
I feel like we're learning more about each other's characters too.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm
yeah.
learning about my character like as we're doing this. It's pretty fun.
And how poor
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah, we're so broke. I was like, I think we're broke. I think we're
I
not gonna
like how
make
you
this
guys
resource
who
test.
have actually generated money are complaining about how broke you are.
I
Where
I have
I'm not
one
even living
guy.
in a village and have no.
Me and my cottage with my 1D cash.
You're
Hey,
So
I'm a
down
cottage
by
with
the
a
river,
tree.
Ritual.
yeah.
So I
Yeah, my
assume
pro.
like after that you guys left, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it
yeah,
seemed like
so
they were like, yep, time to leave. So
where should
that's
I
the end of that, it seems.
journal? I should write this down, like just like a note add. Um, Valet um uh Duada Duan Duan Doran Doran Doran, no, it's like an Irishy name for this dude, but also kind of haughty. um Valet um uh
Ollie.
Man,
the valet all yeah. Oh, Ollie and Olian. Okay. Olian. That's it. And I'll just put a little note. Uh, Lady Fiona Vars Valet Shady. Enmity clause. Enmity clause. Shady. No. Too eager. Oh my god! It's tripping your whole paranoia trait.
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Oh,
Guys, obviously working for the Giants.
Yeah.
neat.
I say,
Yeah,
Okay,
so when Keelan comes back to the party, or comes back to the those who weren't there, he's just kind of like all like shifting eye, like looking out the window, making sure everything's locked.
Yeah,
You know, is like anybody been here? Everyone good?
yeah.
Don't let anyone in. You know that, right?
Do you have observation? Do you have observation?
Oh, I don't think I do.
ooh, I do because of second sight for detecting stealthy or inconspicuous characters. So if we're
Okay,
meeting somewhere and somebody's following him.
I'm just gonna roll stealthy, okay? Just so, just to end that scenario. I like rolling dice too. 4d6. So I got 2 successes. Um, uh, Kellen comes in. He's all shifty. He's all nervous, and he tells Torvig. Torvig is totally greedy. He's a dwarf. He's like, "What people?" And both of you guys look outside. So give me observation or perception. For perception, the ob is 4.
Mm-hmm.
And for observation, the ob is 2.
So because I have second sight, that turns my perception into observation for detecting stealthy or inconspicuous characters.
So cheater.
I
Hey,
know, right?
Roro.
So he got 2
How was it?
successes.
Oh,
And so now does this now add observation to my skills being learned?
yes, you could, yeah. Did you roll, Kyle?
I'm about to.
I
Okay,
haven't rolled yet.
So the ob would be 2, basically, right?
yeah. Yes.
Got it.
And Chase?
And my ob is 4.
Yeah. Torvig.
Hmm.
Hmm. You see like a greasy haired, skinny dude, pale skin, kind of like looking at you earnestly across the street, like looking at the house that you guys entered into.
Oh, I march across the street straight toward him with my axe in my hand.
Okay, he runs away. Like
I chase him.
you chase him. Oh fuck. All right, man. Okay, speed test.
Yeah, I'll stand with these folks against any foe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did they
So
go back to my
Keelan,
house?
Pardon?
I think probably like Keelan's house in town, right?
Yeah, Keelan's house.
I have a
Okay.
cottage,
Okay.
yeah. So we could be there if we
Okay.
wanted to be.
Cool.
All right. I'll help run them down too.
Yeah, I'll run. I'm gonna. I don't know what he's running at because I obviously missed it, but I see Torvig go and I sprint too.
I see
Yeah,
your
yeah.
greasy hair.
Okay.
I don't sprint in armor. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I got 2 successes.
So I think do you guys just want to help me on the speed
Oh,
test?
wait,
That
I
way
get
we're
a
not...
bonus dice. I get a bonus dice because I got higher stride than you. Okay?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got 2 successes plus, hold on, let me see here. Oh, God. I hate dual screen and then I don't know where my cursor is.
Be
There.
very still. It can only see it if it moves.
Okay. Yeah. What's up, sorry. 6. Oh, okay, 2
Okay.
successes.
So Saj, you think is it
Yeah.
I think it's probably better if they just help me
Yeah, that sounds good.
rather than
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even want to give you the help because like you found out
That's fair.
like
Sure,
That's
yeah,
it
that
fair.
makes sense.
Yeah.
seemed more reactionary than hey, let's
Oh,
all
yeah.
cheat. Yeah.
Yeah, Keelan maybe
Yeah, yeah.
runs after, but it's I'm too slow.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
already bolted out the door.
Yeah.
And
So
you've
no
already
help
like
if you don't mind. I just
No, that's fair. That makes
you
total
like bolt
sense.
into the dark, and Keelan's like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
And my speed is so he got 2 successes. Well, here goes. Yeah. No.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
Oh. So yeah,
I have a
definitely,
question about
lost
my
track.
previous role. So should I mark this test as a perception test, or would I prefer to open up observation, and does the check go towards that instead?
Good question. Whenever the base obstacle is uh enough to make it a difficult or challenging test for the stat.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what your perception is, but
It's
4 or 5?
4. It's 4.
4. So if it's an ob 4 test, just like that, or an ob 5 test or whatever, then mark it as a perception test.
Okay.
Difficult. But
Yes.
since this is ob 2, then just practice observation, skills being learned. Yeah. And when you do that, make sure you're knocking out, you're circling in a pip on the aptitude thing. Yeah, there you go. That's
Okay.
it. Nice work, guys.
Cool.
So somebody ran off in the dark, and Torvik comes stamping back.
Was a
Okay.
greasy-haired
So
teenager.
I think maybe that kind of highlights the fact that time's running out, and the longer you stay, you're gonna just get more fucked up in the situation, and you gotta go.
Fair enough.
And it's nighttime, right? So you could skip the resource test and kind of bum out on your debts
Ooh.
and kind of earn a reputation for that. And hope that you can recover it when you come back from your adventures. Or you know. Oh yeah, but we're at Kellen's right now, right? We're at Kellen's house in his cottage, so it's not the whole party. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? Come back tonight.
We know we're being followed. We know we're being watched.
Well, I mean, I think it's so Torvig would think it's perfectly safe for us to leave at dawn. Like clearly, whoever's following us is interested, but it's not as if
Yeah.
this is a matter over which blood will be spilled or something,
True.
right?
Yeah.
And mechanically, I think we should try to make the resources test. So for one, I've got a D of cash on hand, which means I can spend that and I can get help from either Brother Glenn or Luke Harn and potentially get B1 resources. Because I just need one, you just need one test.
Successful
Yeah.
test, yeah.
And if anybody else, does anybody else have any cash on hand that we could lend to Kellen or Ira?
Chris does. He paid
I have
6.
I have the one. But...
Chris
Oh.
paid 6 reps for cash.
Yeah. So what is your? So I'm basically a refugee. So my lifestyle maintenance obstacle is going to be pretty low. But
Yours
you actually
is 1.
have some.
Yours is 1, and the other yours and Ara's is a 1, and
yeah, mine's higher
Luke
because I have a
Harn
cottage,
and
right?
Kellen and thing are 2. Brother Glenn or Glenn.
Yeah. So if we work together, we could potentially, pool our resources, help each other. Now, there's obviously risk involved, but I think.
I mean, again, on my side, I'm willing to put my cash down if it gets us leaving faster for the castle.
Do you like the idea of a group check and one helper, and like one roller and and you guys all help that person, and then it becomes you guys log your test. Like we just do one resource test for the group. I like that, right?
I think I would say if we had been playing for a while and this was a normal lifestyle maintenance cycle, I would say no. But since we're just starting the campaign and we haven't really had time to actually assemble any treasure or cash on hand, yeah, I think that's fine.
Awesome. Okay. So we'll make it an OB3 test, okay? Just to
Okay.
cover all debts, all lifestyles, all everything, plus one for prep for the getting everything for the adventure, getting your mules and your, and tell me, like, if you want to be specific about how you're traveling and what are you bringing and are you going by horse and all that stuff, that could be interesting too.
Well, I have a horse. Who else has a horse?
I've
I
got a
think
horse as
if
well.
you do horses,
horse.
then if you do horse, then the obstacle's going up to 4. Okay.
No, I'm
I have
saying how many do
shoes.
we have? I think we should have like we can have people walk, but we can have we can get one pack mule,
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
and then at least we have because also it's like if people don't know how to ride horses and that kind of stuff, it makes it complicated.
Sure. Torvig is definitely walking.
I did buy shoes.
Okay.
There you go.
Winter boots.
Yeah, I mean, should I bring the horse? I mean, I got one because I had enough resource points for it, and I thought it would be cool. But
I think it's worth bringing.
yeah,
If
I
somebody's
mean, I could get some
injured,
ride checks
if
in, I guess.
somebody's injured, I mean, you got to think realistically, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and the dwarf, like you look outside and the snow is like 2 feet high, so you're just like, no, I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Yeah, I'll
There's
just bring
no
a
problem
horse.
for our people. We are friends with snow.
And I have hunting. And anyone else have hunting? It's along the way.
I actually.
Well, that's not for the resource test. We're doing
No,
the
no, I know. I'm just saying, like in terms of food and
Oh,
then
yeah,
just
yeah,
getting
yeah.
that right stuff. Yeah.
I have
So
fire
just-
building.
Okay.
But if you don't bring, like, if you do hunting, that takes up a lot of time.
Well,
Chris.
if I just want to make sure if we're running out of food, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in
Hunting is
a
not,
desperate situation, but I assume in this role with the 1D, you're gathering enough food,
Yeah.
enough shelter, like enough clothing and tents and stuff, horse, like all that. So it's an OB4 test kind of for all that.
So, Chris, do you want to make the rolls? And we'll just all help you since you have, I think, the most base resources.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. And then so a resource roll is just so with cash. What does that mean, Sanj? How does that affect my resource roll?
It gives you, so wait, hold on. Where's your character sheet?
I had put it down in the notes, but I had written it, but it's not there. That's why.
No, here, I just need to, there it is. So you have a resources of 2, B2, okay?
Yeah.
And you have 1D of cash, so that
Yep.
brings you up to B3.
Okay.
But
I'll
then
give you that
everybody
side.
else can help you.
And Steven can help. I think he's the only other person with resources.
Oh, right.
Well, I can't see his character sheet, but
I have it if you want. Where's Steve?
and then Chase or James, do you guys have any money?
Yeah,
I have 1D of cash.
I
You
just
have
wanted to
1D?
include you, James.
Yeah, I have 1D cash.
And what's your resources?
My resources is 0.
Okay, so 1D cash is, and does Glenn have cash or does he? It's just his resource exponent.
Just has B1 of cash, resource. He doesn't have any cash on hand.
Okay, but I think you'll just help with the cash dice, or that doesn't matter, right? So Chris, you got resources B2.
Yeah.
You get one. You have your own cash dice.
Yep.
You have Brother Glenn's cash dice.
Yep.
And you have Kellen's
Mhm.
no, Kellen's cash dice. Sorry.
Yep.
And, Brother Glenn's just his wealth, his farm, his whole
D5. Is that
you scrounge up 5D.
okay?
No,
And then
it
what's
was
the
mine
obstacle?
too.
Oh, and he's got 60. Yeah.
Okay.
against
And
ob
then
4.
ob
So you
4.
might want to add some persona into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna add. So I have 2 persona. I'm gonna add 1 persona point.
So 7 dice. Nice.
Second.
Okay, wait, before you roll. What's the
Yeah.
failure consequence? The obstacle to get to Fenvalor is going to go up because you are not well supplied. We'll make up something about it. So let's say the obstacle to get to Fenvalor on time in this winter conditions, blah blah blah, is base ob 4. Okay. If you don't make it, it'll be an ob 6. Because
And I'm gonna then at
or
that
a
point.
die penalty. Or a die
No,
penalty.
but that's then I'm gonna add 2 persona points then, because then this is my number 1 belief. Like this is I want to get there as fast as possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
So
luck.
I'm all in.
8 dice.
Pushing all my stack.
Ooh, yes.
That's
Absolutely.
great.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then do I roll the 6s again or no?
If you spend fate, but you don't have to.
There's no reason to.
No reason to. Like it
That's
doesn't
what
make your
advantage and
success
it'll cost you a
better.
fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing I guess you can get extra on the resources wise, right?
No.
Okay.
That's really amazing. Good job, Chris.
I have B1 resources now, and so does Chase.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Does that up your resources or no?
Does for me
Yeah.
and Chase, because
Yeah.
we had nothing.
Yeah, because we had nothing.
Got it.
But now you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
So Chris, just I'm gonna put in, you spent 2 persona on, I'm just gonna put it in for you, and that was 8 dice on ob
4.
4. So that's a routine. Cool.
And then so I get a routine check on my resources.
Yeah, I just did it for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, because the character sheet's there anyways.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Nice. So it's the day of early morning, you spent maybe night gathering your stuff. Era, what does Era bring on her travels with her from?
Oh, Sanj, one of the sorry, do it first. Sorry, I'll do it after. I want to come to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The entirety of her belongings.
Yeah,
Which basically the clothes on her back and a poisons toolkit.
right. Amazing. And actually, how about everybody just tell me what they're kidding themselves up with,
Yeah, Keelan's bringing his horse, and he's, packing light. He's gone on journeys like this before, so he knows what to bring and what not to bring. Kind of fills up his knapsack with things and goes and meets the group. He's got his weapons in tow as well.
Nice. Is there any test or roll to make to kind of leave inconspicuously that you guys are interested in, or is that not interesting? Does that no?
I
Okay,
mean, do we need to? I mean, we made the resources test. We don't owe anybody any money or anything.
Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. So now this journey is, like I said,
Sanj, just so you I make
Oh.
sure that I get a really high quality map,
okay.
just so
Okay.
that we can make sure we're not lost.
Yeah.
I have orienteering, so that would just wait.
Yeah, I
I
have
think
orienteering
maps,
as well.
but I think maps are, I don't want to poo-poo on your idea, but I think maps are worth more
Then just
in
a
this
basic resource test.
day and age. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
it's like
And
a
that's something you pick up at the gas station on the way out of town.
yeah. And they
What
don't
about
make
what about the
copies,
tourist office of the
Yeah. Like at the border.
Literally the best maps would be with the military
Yeah.
authorities,
It is a beautiful Geoff.
Okay.
Exactly.
So early morning, bright and morning with the dawn of the sky coming in, you guys head out the western gate or the north western gate of Hot Chalk. Uh, just kind of imagining like if the gate guards ask you where you're going, right? And you say that you're going to Castle Fenvalor, right? And they don't relay any. They don't. They're like, okay, you're a Fenvalor, and finally gone. Oh, nice. One of they're Knights of the Watch who are around the guard, right? And oh, will you look at that there? Um, we've got the right and mighty Sir Lucarn Fenvalor and his bastard brother. Oh, well, you heard what they said about about Elric, their father, eh? Oh, I've
I
heard many a
Was
tale.
I
that
think at
really
that
necessary,
point,
gentlemen?
yeah, I think at that point Keelan is gonna like jump forward and like grab this guy and
Nice.
try to shake him, you know, and
Are
be
you like
like,
intimidating him, or are you gonna like knock him
hmm.
out?
I think more intimidating, but I don't have intimidation skill.
Okay, perfect.
Stop it.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
so and I'll come in and help him. I'll let him start, and then I have intimidation. So I'll let him start, but then I'll finish it like because
Yeah,
I
I
want
think
to really
yeah.
addressing him as like the watch.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
Keelan will be like, "You don't know what you're talking about," you know, he'll kind of like
yeah,
let his emotions take over for a second.
and the instigator there, like totally such a such an asshole jock with like
Yeah, yeah.
blonde hair and his like beautiful bright Foltis. um the Foltis symbol is a eight-pointed star, a sun, an eight-pointed sun with an eye in the middle. Kind of like he's always watching you, okay? So they
Hmm.
call him Foltis One Eye. And it's totally immaculate, and the white is totally clean. And he, like gets in that kind of like, ha ha, we're fighting. If you know, that's it. I got 9. So, okay, you try and intimidate him. He tells you to, if we're going to fight, let's fight like noble men. And he, puts his hand on his
Oh
hilt
shit.
of his
So
sword,
then,
right?
Sanj, I have like the big horse. So I just put the horse in between them, and I just say, intimidation, back to your station, man. We are on the king's. We are on this plan to save this land. Back to your station, and I just get the horse in between them and say, "There's enough blood spilt in these lands. I can tell from your tunic you have not even seen a day in this combat. We must be off." And I also get the horse to push him, like to push. Stop messing around. I say to my brother.
All right, okay. I think like all of all of this is still intimidation,
Yeah, so
right?
I
And
have
I think it's Lucarn like stepping in and saying that's enough. Like, sorry, uh, Chase, I'm just giving the role to Lucarn because he did make an imposing sight right there,
No,
and
yeah,
maybe
that sounds good to me.
yeah, go for it. So Chris, intimidation, and
Yeah,
get
I have
helping dice from
I have a
Kellen.
B3 intimidation.
Can I
Beef.
help him if I don't have intimidation?
No, but I'm intimidating both of you.
Well, no, don't do that.
No, but I just wanted to stop because we have to get like I'm playing the thing. It's like we have
Okay.
no
Oh,
time
okay,
to
okay, okay, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay.
No, yeah, I think when you do that, Keelan will just, well, I guess we'll see how the
Yeah,
roll is, but
Keelan listens.
I think Keelan's just
You,
kind of like,
yeah,
he backs off for sure. I think he
he
just kind
backs
of
off.
like, he's
You
like, all
you
right,
don't
yeah,
need to
enough
roll,
said.
Chris. I don't think you need to roll. Pass or well, just roll. Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's got a will of 3. So the obstacle is 3. Intimidation versus 3. 3 dice.
Sorry. 3d6.
3 successes.
Wow.
Yeah, so he sees that like look in your eye and the fervor and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There's the far off stare, the 1,000-yard
Yeah.
stare at anything.
Yeah, and it's like he feels like a fool, right? His friends are like, okay, whoa, easy there, man. We're just fooling around, all right? Have a good journey.
Yeah, and I just give a look to all of them and just say, let's get off with this.
But rumor starts to spread that the Fenvalor boys have an important mission. And it's like, because it's like 2 situations now where everybody's like, we're on a quest to save the land. Cool. All right. So you're out there, and as soon as you're out there and you hear the gates close, it's like, and there's like distantly there's a forest to the west, which is to your left, which is called the Ointwood, and to your right there is the dim forest, which kind of broods like sloping up a hill, and the mountains kind of in that direction. And this is kind of like a corridor that leads into this gullet, which is where Hotchok is, right? And you got to head up north and then curve towards the left. Um, hugging the mountain, the base of the mountain, you're heading out into kind of on the northern ends of the no man's land, where there are patrols, of soldiers that go on patrol, especially around Hotchok. I don't know if you've been watching uh, The Last of Us, how the I think it's Denver or whatever, the town that they've kept. They have groups of watch going out. So the watch is going out looking, keeping an eye out for any possible dangers. So, but it's you don't see them or anything right now. They're on patrol somewhere, but there's somebody out there. But it's still dangerous land. And now you got to cross to make it there. So we'll just handle this with one roll, okay? One of you guys be the lead, and everybody else helps, and you min-max and figure out who's got
Is us
the best
like
chances.
traversing the land?
Pardon?
This is us like traveling?
Yeah. We'll just do it with one roll.
Okay.
And
I
then
don't
the
know if
failure
this.
consequence will color and flavor. Well, yeah. What's your intent?
No, I was just wondering if my instinct triggers here to scout ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it lends to it for sure.
Or is this familiar territory for me? I mean, I guess the journey from here to
No, that's not really important. I think scouting ahead is scouting ahead, whether you walk down this road. It's still dangerous, right? It's not walking down the streets of
Yeah, I probably haven't made this journey while it's
No,
still like
no.
thick with snow and stuff.
No. Kyle, does Torvik have any skill to kind of get you? I think it's it's the ranger's job more or less. Like
Yeah.
it's an orienteering or a
I think orienteering is probably the best.
I
yeah.
have
It seems the most obvious
B3
to me.
orienteering.
And then you can fork in all your other goodies. Hold on. Torvik, Lucarn, Era.
I mean,
You have orienteering. You could do tracking, maybe as a way to well, you tell me. So the way we'll do this, guys, is Lucarn will I mean, Kellen will lead the test and pick a skill and gather up his help, and then the rest of the party gather up his forks, and the rest of the party helps, and then we'll flavor it accordingly. I think the op should be hard. Wait, let me look at the test. I know I said 4, but I was just talking quickly, and I just want to just.
I would be happy to help with survival
Yeah, that's perfect.
since we're,
right?
living in the wilds.
This is so funny. Like, I'm looking up like the proper amount of difficulty. Like, what's the right ob? Ugh. But it's so hard to find things in this book. Sorry. Okay. An act that requires expertise is an op 5. This is an expertise move for sure, right?
It's winter.
It's winter. And it's like an overland wilderness journey, in a war zone. Is that heroic effort? Nah. Kind of.
A little bit.
I mean, if we're trying to get there in a week,
Yeah.
If we're trying to get there
Right.
fast, then
Yeah. It is
Like, I
heroic.
think
You gotta, yeah, it's heroic to get there as fast as Lucarn wants it.
yeah,
Okay,
just to
op
get there,
6.
no, but yeah, I will help you with survival.
all
Hmm.
right. So how much health do I have here?
Well,
Survival
first,
from here.
what's your base? Like, how many dice you gonna throw?
My orienteering is 3, B3.
So you got B3 orienteering. What else you gonna fork?
So how exactly, like for forks, is it just kind of whatever we can kind of
Yeah.
make apply in the
Apply.
fiction, or is
Yeah.
it the specific entry that's like
No,
in the
pretty much.
Those are
Yeah.
just suggestions.
It's
Okay,
suggestions.
awesome.
Like forest wise, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm forest wise. I have tracking. I don't really know, like maybe we're looking for trails and stuff. I don't really know if that
Follow a
applies.
game trail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To try
tracking
to
for
like
sure.
navigate the area.
Orienteering as well. Like we can give him point.
Yeah.
I know that I
Yeah.
have it. Oh yeah, I have it. I can give it to you.
Yeah, so you got 1, 2 forks. But wait, any so
I
if
have ride. I don't know if that helps me, but if I'm
ride,
riding my horse,
ride does, like, for sure.
especially as I'm scouting ahead and stuff.
Yeah, ride for sure, and relieving, giving
Mm-hmm.
people like relief, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3 forks for you.
Cool.
And then
And I
we
have
got
help from
survival
Lucarn.
help from
And
Torvig,
so-
and we have orienteering help from Lucarn. Era, any help?
No. I don't have anything I can help with, but I will use ugly truth to say we're all going to freeze to death out here.
Um,
I mean, you're probably not
and
wrong.
That's what makes it ugly truth.
Steven, let me just quickly look at his character sheet because
You might have to summon our father to help us out. If we get desperate.
Get ready, we're coming.
5. Doctrine, field dressing, oratory, writing. So he can help with writing. Okay, so that's 6.
Cool.
So 6 extra on top of your your B3. So wait. So you got a B3 skill, right? And you're forking in forest wise. How? What's your idea? What are you thinking?
Well,
because we want flavor.
Yeah. So, I mean, are we moving through a lot of forested areas?
Yep.
So I
Like I
mean,
said, there's Ointwood on the left, dim forest on the
mhm,
right, and then the whole mountain, the wilderness, what mountain wilderness
mhm,
on your right hand side on the vales of the mountain,
yeah. So like Keelan, he's moving forward, like he's scouting ahead on his horse, and he's also trying to figure out what's going to be the best like path for everyone else to take. We have, you know, that maybe not can't move as nimble as one person on a horse, so he's trying to figure out. He knows what to look out for in like making a good trail, making a good path.
tracking
Um,
there.
hmm
He's on his horse riding. So
hmm
that's now we got 6 dice from you alone. And then orienteering comes in from Lucar.
And Torvik. Yeah, I thought Torvik had it as well. No.
And Torvik has survival, so every night he's setting the camp, lighting the fire, making the food, doing all that. Um, even and then finally more writing from um, uh, Glenn. So it's a total of 9 dice.
What's the op here?
6.
Hmm. All right, let's see here.
I wish it's funny, like there's one thing about the rules that I find sad is that you can't give a persona point to somebody else. Because Chris could definitely want to give a persona point in this situation.
Oh, I'm out. I'm out.
Oh, you're out.
I'm gonna spend. I have one persona point left. I'm gonna spend it here to add to this roll.
Nice. So
10 versus
10D.
6.
And the 6, you know what? The persona, because if you click on it, it's open-ended, so it'll just explode on its own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cool.
All right, and the base obstacle is 6. Here we go. No. Any 6s? Ooh, I have some
Oh,
6s
three
here.
sixes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So I could use luck here, right?
Yeah.
All right, open-ended 6s. So that re-rolls all of my failed 6s.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
3.
All right, so yeah, I'll spend a fate point to re-roll 3 die. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice.
And
Nice.
nice. Way to
Awesome.
go. Clutch.
We did it, gang.
We did it. Neat. So yeah, you want to narrate that? Or anybody want to color that? Well, I guess I could. So that's the job of the DM. So through long nights, you guys are plowing ahead, driven by the mad fury of the Fenvalor boys, and the lust for this, like I can see Torvik always looking beyond past, where the barrier peaks are to the north, and he's like, I am coming to you. I'm coming to you. And like I even see like Era a little out of sorts in this tough time, and because you didn't help, I imagine that you're a little like out of your depth in this crazy adventure life, and you're just cold and drinking tea and making tea for everyone and just plowing ahead with your head down, haunted by ghosts. And I think we can cut now and do Artha. And we'll start next session with what's going
Arriving.
on at Castle
Cool, yeah.
Fenvalor.
I definitely think there's a moment like while we're on our journey
Yeah.
where like Keelan maybe doesn't specifically call out like the whole incident with him like cutting in with the horse and stuff. But maybe he,
Nice.
he really sees how passionate that Lucarin is about getting there as soon as possible. And so Keelan really tries to push himself and maybe there's like a moment where he's coming back from scouting and he kind of like looks over to you, Lucarin, and kind of like a knowing, like, look, like we're gonna get there safely, where we have that kind of moment.
And in actual fact, mechanically, you did that by spending 2%.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
you literally gave it, like to Artha. So it's cool that it actually shows in the game mechanic. Cool, very interesting. That was fun. Um, but I kind of think it's a good place to stop for me to get ready for what's up at Castle Fenvalor. But I do want to say, getting there in time means getting there in time, like that there is that was a ticking clock to get there before something happens to Lady Maris
The danger, yeah.
and danger, and you've gotten there, right? You got there as fast
Hell
as you
yeah.
can. So that's really neat. So you're, we'll see how that plays out. Shall we? And I kind of want to do. Does anybody have any other scenes or things that they want to do, kind of as if like role play or whatever, inter-party thing or whatever, on the journey, like while you were traveling? I have time. I mean, I have time.
Well, I do ask. I do ask. The LR, like, what would it take to bring our father? What would it take to do this again? Speak to our father.
Well,
Before we get to the castle.
before we get to the time is the biggest thing. To draw a circle properly is no easy task, nor is it something that should be rushed. Building some sort of a shrine to him, a remembrance. Do you have a token of him, perhaps?
We could find
Uh,
something like that once we get to the castle.
Once we reach the castle, it would be easier.
You
I would
suggest
have
we wait to the
time.
castle.
I would have time to draw a circle. You could bring me something of his. If you wanted to fund, say, lighting candles in the local chapel, or if you have a shrine here at the castle, that would certainly uh, make it much easier to convince him to lead us.
Amazing.
So we could go to the family shrine in the castle and have the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Mechanically, what I'm looking at, it takes several hours to draw any type of circle. And since time is an issue here, doing it on the trip would be a problem. And to actually get any kind of service from the spirit uh, would require, I think, an OB2 resources test, which is often colored as building a shrine or um, having services said in his name or things like that.
And I think what you said also reminded me of an item of his
Mm-hmm.
would and because you have Touch of Ages,
Touch of Ages, yes.
an item of his I would give you a bonus dice for that.
That's kind of what I was aiming for, and that's one of the reasons why I really like the Touch of Ages trait.
It's amazing, man. This is
I guess, and then the question I just say to him, I say, I am not sure my mother or the castle would like a scenario such as this in the castle crypt, but if it will bring us closer to him, we will make it happen.
I
Oh,
think
I don't think
Keelan is like, why do they need to know what we're doing?
you think your noble mother would not like it if you summoned her dead husband into the family castle?
I think you are right, Dwarf. I think
Hmm.
that might not be seen well.
Yes, maybe we should not be telling her about your blasphemous behaviors.
Yes,
You're
it might
consorting
be.
with this witch. It's okay, Ira. I understand that you're crazy. It's
Your
okay.
family, does your family not honor its ancestors? Do people from this area not? Do you just forget you're dead?
We buried
They're
them.
still around.
Or there are no dwarven ghosts.
I do not know of
I-
your. I do not know of you. Do not even understand what we saw that night.
I've spoken even to the sanctified dead. They are more content in their graves, but they are here.
And what says you that we may not lose him again?
We need to placate him. Let him
Hmm.
know he is remembered. If your family is the way that you have said it is, he probably feels abandoned. Your
I
own
do not
mother
even.
wouldn't want to see him again?
Corvic is
Wouldn't
just
want
rolling his
him to
eyes.
return?
I do not even. I guess I do not even know if they have opened the crypt for him yet. If they have not found his body.
Perhaps we could resolve that as well. If if the body is important to you, it often is to the unburied dead.
Did you hear? Did you feel anything that we didn't hear in your connection with him?
He was tormented. I don't perhaps by the theft of the axe, but it seems it would be a useful tool in driving the giants out. Surely the dwarves would understand that, wouldn't they, Torvig?
No,
No.
I think either Kellen or Lucarn, there's like a, the last few nights since seeing your father's ghost, um, one one of the remember how I was saying it was like a static, like a glitchy image of the ghost, and there was one of the glitches that you saw is of like this mad-eyed, scraggled-haired, emaciated um, version of your dad, and then it clicks, and it sort of changed to this handsome version of the man that you remembered. Okay, the hero, the ghost of the hero version of your dad.
The
So
version that would be carved into the sarcophagus.
yeah, yeah. No, but I was like, I'm saying this in reference to Chris's
Yeah.
question about
What did he know? Yeah. And then I
did you
just
see, did you hear anything, blah, blah, blah. So you do remember that vision,
yeah. No, I know it because it's like I kind of like it's something that we didn't talk about, like it happened and none of us even spoke of it, but I can imagine that being. And I just ask to say, what have you, Priest of Pelor? How can we bring peace to my father?
Steven, you're muted.
It's good.
We can bring peace, I believe, by finding the axe. That I believe is probably the best way to bring peace to him.
Hmm.
This is a kind of out of character question that is more speculative. So we know the father's spirit is roaming around as a ghost, or at least it was summoned once. But if he had like died in some horrible place like Dune Khosroth or wherever, and came back as a wight or something, like that would just be his body. So it's possible. So would it be possible that he's out there wandering around with the axe, some kind of undead, but his spirit is separate?
That's pretty
You
bad.
remember when you GM and I keep telling Steven not to give the GM ideas like that?
Oh, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds awesome.
Can you just wait, back up and
Can you write
repeat
that
that?
down for me?
Can you just repeat that for me if you don't mind?
Well, I was
Because
saying like we know we've seen his ghost summoned, but if
Mhm.
like but there we saw this like emaciated like weird twisted image. So I was saying like if his body is a white or something,
His
like
body's obviously somewhere else.
because like I think there's like the implication that undead are not really the person, right? So like a vampire is not really that person. It just thinks it is, but its soul is somewhere else or something.
Mhm.
If
Mhm,
depending on how you want to interpret it. So
mhm.
my thought was like if he's some twisted white still carrying around the axe in some nightmare dungeon, but his soul is elsewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know.
Kyle's
Yeah, that
basically
could be
suggesting that
interesting.
his body is carrying the axe and will be hostile to us.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I didn't know if that was what like Sand was going for with like the flickering or
Mm,
I could totally be wrong. Totally be wrong.
It is a cool possibility.
Good. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to duel your undead father for the axe, whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to judge you.
That's
Mm.
great grist for Moldbreaker.
mhm.
You know, play out that angst at having to fight your father.
Mhm.
Is it really your father anymore at that point?
And
Yeah,
that's what you got to play
That would
out.
be the
yeah,
question,
that's
I
what you
guess.
gotta,
I don't
wrestle with.
know.
Yeah. It's a good, then you're bringing back the whole Darth Vader, at that point,
Yep. Yep.
Oh, exactly. Nice one.
Twisted and evil.
Yeah, and he's like
Okay.
into, MLMs and crazy stuff.
He's a
Mhm.
flat he's a flat gray hawker now.
Mhm.
There are no Sewell. It's conspiracy. Chemtrails.
Yeah.
And Amway.
Mhm.
It's good.
The Giants are coming over to get us in their what essential oils.
Okay, so guys, let's do beliefs, instincts, and traits. Um, and like I guess last time I felt a little bit like I was doling them out as if I was, and I kind of just want to be more collaborative with that, if you don't mind.
No, it's fine. Do you mind if I jump in and do it? Because my son's having
Yeah,
a hard time, so I need to
yeah,
jump on.
sure.
First belief, what should we be doing? Searching the ruins of Dune Kozroth. What are we doing? Not that. I will find evidence that Fenvalor, this nobleman, indeed sought out Dune Kozroth in his quest for the axe. Well, we're not there. I haven't even started that yet. The second one is about beating the answers out of something foul to figure out what's going on with him. I hadn't started that. The third one, let these lowland fools call me stubborn so long as they still have the living breath to do it. I'll stand with these folks against any foe, monstrous or otherwise, with sense and steel, no matter what it costs me. That's why I went after the greasy guy.
Yeah,
Like, somebody's following killing. I'm gonna
you
go
got a
after
fate
him.
point. Yeah,
Yeah. And then I swore to Uncle Villic, this is my dwarven oath, that I would do everything in my power to recover the dragon, the Axe of the Dwarvish Lords, that he's convinced will be found amidst Geoff's ruin. That's why I was going to get money to finance the expedition.
yep.
Um, Instincts, none of them got me in trouble. I don't know that any of my traits. Well, the adventure did make it harder. I don't know if that's enough for adventure. It's a die trait, though. They're not really supposed to get fate points.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think any of my traits really applied. So I think 2 fate is what I get.
I concur. I think that's fair.
Um, and if I get anything else, just let me know. But I'm gonna jump off a little early tonight. Sorry about that.
Okay, no problem. Hold on. I'm putting it on the board for you. You got a little fate token
Cool.
and then 2 fate points for you. So how many fate do you have actually total?
I have 6 right now.
Whoa. Okay. We gotta burn them. Okay. So anyway, um, anybody else? want to jump in there?
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, thank
Right.
you.
Kyle, have a good one.
I think I can do mine pretty quickly. I think I need to really tighten them down. First one about Wen needing my assistance, really didn't play into that. Father Asher, yeah, we're working on finding the axe, but I don't think that there was anything. I helped a lot, but I don't think there was anything that really stood out narratively for that. And then Thalira Venchade is my connection to the physical world. I will protect her and her hives. That also didn't.
I'm sorry. I really want to do something with her, like to attack her somehow. But I like the story was rolling and I just lost track.
Now we're totally good. We have the rest of the campaign.
Yeah.
Um,
But you know,
uh,
the opportunities, like, because you're gone now, you know, like, unless.
We have to turn around.
Yeah.
So yeah, nothing. I really don't think that I actually got any Arthur this time, so I'm okay with that because I did get a good haul last time, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's me.
Okay. That's cool.
I'll go next. I think I'm in pretty much the same boat. My first belief is about seeing the axe in the hands of a hero that will use it, and that's coming, but I didn't really hit on that this time. The second one is about summoning Alric and compelling him to lead us to the axe, and I think that will happen probably next session, one way or the other.
Yeah.
And the third one is about building my affiliation with spirits, and I did not really work on that. So,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
yep.
Okay. So nothing.
Nope,
All
not this
right.
time.
But I do think that Kellen and Lucarn got a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the way that goes sometimes, and we are
Oh yeah.
totally happy.
Yeah, it was a good
Yep.
story. Like it just shined,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let's do Kellen first.
Okay. For my first belief, my father's ghost whispers with the axe. I must head to Castle Fenvalor to search out information of my father's last expedition.
So
So I
like,
haven't like accomplished it. I haven't gotten to the castle. Well, I
but
mean,
you
we're
get a
basically
fate
almost
point.
there.
You
I
get
get
a
a fate
fate
point for
point
that.
for working towards that.
Cool.
Okay.
And then I'll stand up for Lucarn's honor and see his rank restored. Maybe he'll see me then as not a stranger, but as a brother. I definitely
That
tried to cut
was
in
great.
and try to
Yeah.
stand up for him.
That's a fate point for that for sure.
Awesome. And then my last one, I didn't really take any big risks this session. So I don't
Yeah.
think I get anything from that one.
Yeah.
My
I
instinct, I
gotta,
did.
yeah. It's kind of like that. If you failed that survival roll, right?
Mhm.
Then I would say out on patrol, you see something risky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's GM mastery. Instincts.
I did have the one instinct that applied the scout ahead.
Nice.
So does that give me a fate point?
Uh, uh,
Or how does that work? Or
yeah,
it didn't get me into
it
trouble,
didn't get
right?
you into trouble. It's you do it at the worst time, you know?
That's
So,
right. That's right. Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I didn't get in it. My instincts didn't get into me in trouble.
And
I
it's
don't
too
think.
bad you didn't play paranoid in a really messed up way. Like in that
Mm-hmm.
meeting, if your paranoia
Oh
got
yeah.
ahead of you,
I
you
should have
would
done that. Yeah.
and sent the story in a fucked up direction. That would have been a
Mm.
of
That's good to know. That's good to think
good to
about.
know,
Yeah.
right? So 2 fate points for you.
Cool.
Okay. Chris.
Yeah. The first one, no, I helped secure the axe. Usually through my lands, kind of same like everyone else. That didn't really work out. Same thing, kind of the whole trying to find a knight to get my, I think that, and then the third one kind of trumped those, which was my mother and family are in danger. I'll do anything to get to the castle as fast as possible. So I think
You got
that's kind of,
you You got a
That's a-
fate for that for sure,
Yeah.
and protecting your honor. No,
That
no,
not really. No, because
No.
again, I trumped it, right? I said I pushed that one down, right? I actually went against that. I was like, what? I had to pick one
You
or the other.
weighed the two, and I don't have time to be defending my honor. I have to, yeah,
Especially because I consider myself a noble and a guard. Like it's
yeah.
not like yeah. So
Mm.
I picked my mother and family are in danger. So I think I got one fate point.
You got a fate point for it. Nice. And instincts that I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think I got one fate point.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. All right, folks. Great game. Super entertaining.
Yeah.
And
A couple of weeks.
yeah, we'll I guess we'll figure out what to do, like how to schedule and everything next time or online.
Do we need to do
Cool.
like MVP and all that?
Sorry, I forgot to do that. Yeah, duh. I think embodiment, I didn't really see any like those kind of moments of like big speeches and everybody's role playing was still solid though. I kind of got a feeling a little bit about MVP with there's two almost like the survival role to get there on time, like the getting there on time that Kellen did. But there's also the big money roll that the resources test, both of you. So how about you each get a persona point for that?
No, I
Sounds
mean
good.
it was. Well, I mean, again, we all yeah, sure, yeah.
I
That's
mean, I'll
fine.
take that. I mean, for sure.
Well, you spent.
I did. Yeah,
You
I'm out of
spent.
persona
Both of
right
you
now.
guys
I may as well
spent
get a
big.
bit. I may as well get a bit back. Yeah.
Yeah, you spent a lot. And you're gonna need it for what is ahead of you.
What's to come?
Yeah. Okay, so 2 persona points. One each, I mean.
Yep. Yeah, makes sense.
Nice. Great. That's good.
Really awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Very good.
Sanj, you want to end the just say do you and I stay on a bit because it's just so we don't fuck up the recording.
Yeah, sure.
This was
Thanks,
a blast,
guys.
guys. Thanks.
Good night,
Thanks, everybody.
guys.
Love it.
Good night.
See y'all next time.
Yeah.
Okay, stop the. Can you stop the recording?
Hold on. Where do I? Oh, yeah. Stop recording. There we go. Are you sure you want to stop the recording? Yes. That was really good.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
Sasha called while we were playing before the break.
Tell
So
them too busy being nerds.
yeah, I feel so bad. I'm playing Burning Wheel with Chris online with some other people. Have fun. Oh, poor Sasha.
Yeah, no, he get okay.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him. Have you talked to him? He's I called him a couple times on the weekend.
I did, yeah. It's like I keep missing him.
Yeah, I better call him, man. I think he must be really down after
Oh yeah, with the
yesterday's.
latest thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's taking it really hard. Yeah. Okay, that should be good.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a call.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Please leave your message for 323-819-0730. Nothing has